Hey guys, up back with another video. This time we're gonna review WrestleMania 34. Let's get this on the way, shall we? Sorry for the pause and delay there. Just trying to recollect my thoughts on this event. Just got finished watching it, and boy howdy, it was an event. Anyway, we kicked off the show with all these hours ago. We kicked off the show with The Miz defending the Intercontinental Championship against Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Fantastic opener, very fast-paced, and in my opinion had the right winner. Awesome stuff. You got Seth Rollins in there, who in 2018 was awesome, and he is awesome today. You know, it's just that he had a very bad 2019, but we'll get onto that another time. But yeah, Seth Rollins had a really awesome match here with Finn Balor and The Miz, and yeah, won the Intercontinental title. It was a fantastic opener, and we move on. Fantastic way to kick off WrestleMania 34 with Seth Rollins winning the IC title. Curb stomping Miz, always good to see. No offense, Miz. Anyway, next match we had the SmackDown Women's title on the line. We had the champion Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title. This was another fantastic match, almost picture perfect. The only thing I didn't like, and it's a bit of a nitpick, but was the ending where Charlotte Flair made Asuka tap out to the figure eight. I don't think Asuka's knee had been worked on too much, so it kind of came as a bit of a surprise when she tapped out, because it was like the first time she put the figure eight on. Would have liked to see Charlotte work the knee of Asuka a little bit more before putting the figure eight on. Maybe sprinkle it in throughout the match rather than just here's the figure eight at the end of the match and without no damage to the knee, and Asuka just taps out. So pretty surprising out of nowhere finish with Asuka just tapping out, but it is the Superdome. In New Orleans, the same place that held WrestleMania 30, so streaks were meant to be broken in that stadium, because Undertaker's streak came to an end in that stadium too, so Asuka's streak came to an end, and that streak too. Anyway, next match, we had Bobby Roode taking on Rusev, taking on Randy Orton, taking on Jinder Mahal in a fatal four-way for the United States title, Randy Orton being the champion of the United States champion, that is. It was okay. It felt like a filler match to get people on the card for WrestleMania. Didn't really care too much about it. I mean, Rusev Day was over as hell. Like, Rusev Day was good. Rusev was awesome. But it just felt like a match that could have been on SmackDown or another B-level pay-per-view. And, of course, the most over man in the match, Rusev, got pinned. As the curse of Randy Orton's title reigns, especially around that time, came to an end with the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal, took another title of Randy Orton's. This time the United States title, as Jinder Mahal would pin Rusev to take the United States title from Randy Orton. I mean, it wouldn't have killed them to put the title on Rusev, considering what happens with the United States title between WrestleMania and the next pay-per-view, Greatest Royal Rumble, where Jeff Hardy ends up with the title after beating Jinder for the title. Spoiler alert. So it wouldn't have killed them to have Rusev win the title and have a good WrestleMania moment, but it is what it is. I'm not complaining too much. Sad Rusev Day. Sad Rusev Day for the second pay-per-view in a row. I'm not happy about this. Anyway, next match. We had the Triple H and Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. This was fantastic. This was awesome. It was Ronda's debut match, and boy howdy, she had great great individuals to play off here, and Ronda brought her A game, and Kurt Angle brought his. It was a good tag team partner, and Triple H and Stephanie were just great heels. Especially Stephanie, she was awesome as a heel. To being that cocky prick, to the point where you wanted to see Ronda kick her ass, basically. And that's exactly what happened, and it was very fulfilling WrestleMania moment, and a match, basically. Great match it was. And it was just awesome to see Ronda Rousey do her stuff. It was one of the matches I was looking forward to reliving in this 2018 recap. Going back and watching the 2018 stuff. It was one of the stuff. It was one of the matches I was looking forward to going back, especially during this Ronda Rousey run in 2018, because she had really good stuff. Spoiler alert. In my opinion, anyway, she had really good stuff. So I'm looking forward to going past this. I'm looking forward to reliving some more Ronda Rousey stuff going into the later parts of 2018. This was just her first match, so and I was looking forward to this, and it didn't disappoint. Very, very happy with this match with Ronda Rousey. Probably my match of the night. Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie and Triple H. All credit to all four for putting on a good performance, and my match of the night, definitely. Next match, we had the Usos defending the SmackDown Tag Team titles against the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers. This was okay. It didn't get a lot of time. I think it was like 5 minutes, and so you kind of knew that you could kind of see that they were rushing through spots to get their spots in. And again, it would have been a lot better if they would have got a little bit more time, or if it was on a different pay-per-view rather than trying to fit a lot into WrestleMania. This is probably one of the problems with WrestleMania around that time, was they tried to get everyone on the card, but of course they didn't want the show going like 8 hours, so people had their time cut. And that's probably why I'm glad that it's 2 nights from now on. So everyone gets a WrestleMania match. Well, a lot of people get their WrestleMania match, and they get a little bit of time. Apart from the New Day last year when they lost to the Brawling Brutes in 1 minute. That's another thing. Yeah, anyway, Bludgeon Brothers get the win here. Probably it was the right result after the destruction they were on. And this was probably the highest momentum-wise the Bludgeon Brothers do succeed, because it all goes downhill from here for the Bludgeon Brothers. So they kind of just fade into obscurity in the next couple of months. So yeah, good moment here for the Bludgeon Brothers. Always good to see Luke Harper do his stuff, and good moment. So yeah, it was alright, but I wish it would have got more time. Next match, we had the John Cena versus The Undertaker debacle. And the reason why I call it a debacle is because throughout the night, for the first 2 matches, John Cena was sitting at ringside because he'd been calling out The Undertaker in the weeks building up to WrestleMania. He'd been calling out The Undertaker for a match, and Undertaker didn't respond. So John Cena came as a fan, was watching the action. After the Charlotte match, he got told by a referee that something, or maybe Undertaker was there, so he went rushing backstage, got his gear on, just happened to have his gear backstage. Always bring your gear, that's always very important. And we had the match here, and it was basically mind games. And now I think about it, I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of weird because it's a squash match. It's an epic squash match. It's like 4 minutes. Undertaker squashes him, beats him. Does the Undertaker greatest hits moment, a 4-minute match against John Cena, and squashes him. And at the time, I remember thinking it was a perfect squash because I thought it was going to lead to a rematch, but now that we know that's not the case because it never did lead to anything, I just feel like it's a bit of a waste, really, because it's like you had a chance to have Undertaker versus John Cena at WrestleMania, and you gave it 4 minutes. That's it. I don't know, man. It didn't feel like it. I felt like there should have been more to it, like another match down the line. And because we haven't got that match, and we're probably not going to get that ever match. We're probably never going to get that match ever again. It's a bit of a waste, anyway. Undertaker won. I said my piece. It is the way it is. Anyway, next match we had Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This was Daniel Bryan's return match. It was an okay match. It sounded good on paper. It sounded good on paper having Daniel Bryan taken out of the match earlier on, so to make that great comeback at the end and then get the win and the crowd go mental. Problem was the crowd didn't buy it. It was a still okay match. Good to see Daniel Bryan in there against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Really good stuff, and Shane did his part okay. It just didn't work the way that they wanted it to. and that's a shame, really. But Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon got the win, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn moved over to Raw. Next match, we had Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Bit of a nothing match. Didn't really care too much about this match. It had the right winner, with Nia Jax winning because of the story of Nia Jax being bullied by Alexa for looking different and all that stuff. So kind of made sense for Nia to win the title here. Good moment for Nia Jax, but it was a nothing match. I didn't really care too much about it. Next match, we had AJ Styles taking on Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. It was a solid first match in the series. It wasn't the 5-star clinic everyone was hoping for, but I thought it was a very solid first match in the series. Of course, because AJ Styles would win this match, Shinsuke Nakamura would turn heel, low-blowing AJ Styles, and that would set up the rivalry going from there. It was just the first match in the series between these two, so it wasn't a 5-star clinic, but it was a good, solid first match. So I actually enjoyed it. Really solid stuff. And we move on to the next match. We have the Bar of Sheamus and Cesaro taking on Braun Strowman and a mystery partner, which turned out to be Nicholas, the 9-year-old kid. This was ridiculous. I like Braun Strowman. It was a 4-minute squat. It was a 4-minute, they won the titles, but it was kind of ridiculous. I can't say anything more than that. It was a bit ridiculous. It was hilarious. I had a funny time with it, but it didn't do anything for the tag team division, and the Bar. I don't know how the Bar survived after this match, losing to Braun Strowman and a kid. So it was sweet, but should have been done with a house show. It was a kind of house showy feel to it. And then we have the main event. We have Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Universal Championship. It was a typical Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match. A lot of suplexes, a lot of F5s, too many F5s for my liking. Too many spears, Superman punches. In the end, it took 6 F5s to put down Roman Reigns. Bit of an overkill, really, for me, considering that it took 3 to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. Bit of an overkill, to be quite honest. A bit of an overkill. It was kind of a weird one as well, because it was I was sitting there going like, I was just waiting for that moment where Roman was like, he was getting beaten up in F5s and F5, and I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the moment for Roman to do that amazing superhero comeback and dethrone the beast, so to speak. No pun intended. And it just never came. He got busted open. He had a little bit of a theory where he speared him twice, and then he went for the 3rd spear, and then Brock just caught him with the 6th F5 and pinned him. And it was kind of deflated, and of course the crowd didn't care, because at this point they didn't want to see Roman Reigns win. They didn't care about Brock Lesnar too much at this point. And so they were entertaining themselves with beach balls and chants of Nicholas, and I think there was a CM Punk chant in there somewhere. I may have missed that. But yeah, it was kind of disappointing, deflating way to end what was a kind of a good WrestleMania in parts. It had its moments, WrestleMania did, where it was kind of bizarre, but kind of long as well, but I'm not going to complain too much about it being too long. And kind of deflating ending with Roman Reigns just losing to Brock Lesnar, and we move on to more Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns matches down in the later 2018. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I did enjoy most of the card, but that ending was very deflating for me. And anyway, that's going to be it now, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. See you guys next time for the Greatest Royal Rumble, which will probably be sometime next week, hopefully. Anyway, until then, I'll see you guys next time. And I'm out.